students, welcome to my channel, Lalit sir. Dear students, till date we understand the topics regarding chemistry. Now today we understand the chapter 10, Respiration in Organism, Biology. As you know, we have three parts, that is biology, physics and chemistry. Now the chapter which is we are going to understand today, which is going to learn, that is the respiration in organism from the biology section. Okay. Dear students, before I give you any introduction about this, do you know when you wake up in the morning and you start your exercise, or suppose you are running, suppose I am running right now, suppose I continuously run, okay, suppose I do some exercises, suppose I start my exercise, suppose I run, then what happens? My breathing will continuously increase. I feel like a low short breath like this. This kind of short breath I will feel. Why it happens? Because you feel the tiredness, okay, when you run continuously, okay, then because of this running, because of this continuous movement of the body, you want respiration. Okay, while you are running, your breathing also increase. Okay, so that is why we need to understand what exactly happens while you run, while you sleep. What exactly happens to your body where your nasal cavities, when your lungs take the oxygens and exhale the carbon dioxide, inhalation, exhalation. So in this chapter, we will understand why we breathe, what is inhalation, what is exhalation, okay, and also we will understand how this some of the animals are breathing, and what is the cellular respiration, what is the anaerobic respiration, what is the aerobic respiration, and what is the meaning of this all respiration, and how these respiration are important for our routine or daily life. What happens exactly, that we will understand. The objective of this chapter is to understand cellular respiration, breathing process, then also the aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, and the respirations which affects your lungs. What is the diaphragm, how it goes upside, why it goes downside. This all things we will understand in this chapter. So we start with the first, that is the cellular respiration. What is the cellular respiration? Dear students, when you breathe, once you are breathing inside, if you take the oxygen inside, there are lots of cells which affect this respiration. There are lots of cells which will control this respiration. So when this oxygen goes inside, when you take the food, there are food burning in your body. Okay. When food burns, that gives the energy. That gives the energy. So you can walk, you can go, you can come, you can move. Is it? So this kind of energy will continuously goes, continuously improves. Is it? Okay. So this burning or respiration in the cell, or burning of the food in the cell, that is called the cellular respiration. That happens in the cell's organism. As you know, body made up of cells. Is it? No, body made up of organ. Then what exactly definition of these cells and bodies and organs? So we can say cell, small cell, multi-purpose cell. We are multicellular. Okay, we are multicellular. In the previous chapters, we understand about what is the unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means a single cell organism like amoeba. Now we are multicellular. Multicellular means lots of cells combined together, multiplication of cells combined together make a tissue. These all the tissues combined together gives the organ, and this organ combined together gives the body. Is it? So this is called the combination of the multicellular body, and this gives the body structure. So that we know that we are multicellular. Now this multicellular also needs the breathing. There are animal breathing also and plant breathing also. Let's say there are lots of breathings, different types of breathing. Plant breathing, we understood in the previous chapter that the plants breathe how they take the carbon dioxide and give the oxygen. Carbon dioxide, when they make the one process that is called the photosynthesis. What is the photosynthesis? The photosynthesis is the process of taking carbon dioxide, water. Photosynthesis is the process of making food in the presence of carbon dioxide, water, and gives oxygen in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. That we know it is the photosynthesis. So this is called the cellular respiration. Now there are types of the respirations in the human being. There are two types of respiration. That is called the aerobic respiration, and that is the second is called the anaerobic respirations. The organism, animals, those are just surviving in anaerobic respirations. That is called the anaerobes. It's called the anaerobes. But what is anaerobes? The anaerobes are the animals or the organism those are surviving without oxygen. Okay, that we understand. Previously, first we are going to understand the aerobic respiration. Here you can see, once you take the oxygen inside, every time, see, if you want to work, if I want to move the duster, I want some energy. If I want to move this table or pull the table, I want some energy. To pull the duster, I want small kind of energy, very little type of the energy I need. But to pull the table, I want more and more amount of energy. So pulling the table, I need more energy. This pulling the duster, I need small energy. For walking, I need energy. That is a small amount of energy. For running, I need more amount of energy. For exercise, I need also more amount of energy. That means every time I need energy. Is it? So, well, how will I get this energy? Our body contains what? Our body contains glucose, which is present in our body. How it forms? That I already taught you that. That is the formation of C6H12O6. Is the glucose is, what is the glucose? Glucose is C6H12O6. How it forms? It forms in your body, where when you take the food, it stores with the help of the digestive system. The glucose formation happens and it is stored to your body. Then whenever you need this glucose in the presence of oxygen, when you take breathing, the inhalation. Okay, this is exhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. When I take the oxygen in the presence of glucose, what it do? It gives the carbon dioxide. See, with the combination of the glucose in the presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide comes, also water comes, and energy comes. Now you feel how water comes. So you in the winter, when you check your breathing, if you do like this or like this, then some droplets will come. Also, if you do in front of mirror, if you throw your air in front of the mirror, then also you will feel that that air contains small droplets. So that we can identify that when burning of the oxygen, burning of the glucose in the presence of oxygen happens, it gives the energy but also gives the water plus gives the carbon dioxide. That means when glucose burns in the presence of oxygen, it provides us the energy. That is we understand. So the presence of oxygen, the burning of the glucose or the glucose gives the energy in the presence of oxygen and also gives the carbon dioxide in water. This kind of respiration is called as aerobic respiration. So what is the aerobic respiration? The aerobic respiration is glucose gives the energy in the presence of oxygen and also gives the carbon dioxide and water. That is called the aerobic respiration. This aerobic respiration happens entire life. Not is like that just you do the exercise and it happens. It's not like that you eat the food only and it happens. If you are sleeping, then also it happens. If you are walking, then also it happens. If you are dancing, then also it happens. If you are sitting, then also this aerobic respiration is continuously happening. And that is why it is very important for the human being. It happens for all the human beings. So releasing of the carbon dioxide, water and energy with the help of glucose. Okay. Now I just talk about the anaerobes. The anaerobes are the living organism, like they live, they produce something. So these anaerobes, without oxygen they are surviving. Okay. When I'm telling you that without oxygen they are surviving, that means so when there is no oxygen, there is absence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, these organisms also have a glucose. See, every living organism have a glucose. Even plant have a glucose. But they also store the glucose. Okay, plants store the glucose. How? As already I taught you that in class 6 and also in the previous chapter, that photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is what? This photosynthesis give in the presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water. The combination of all this will give you a C6H12O6. Okay, that is called the glucose. This is the chemical name of the glucose. That is C6H12O6, chemical structure of the glucose. Okay, so all the living organisms have the glucose. Okay, that's fine. Now, the anaerobic respiration, just I told you that anaerobes, which we call the anaerobes which are breathing in the absence of oxygen, it is known as anaerobic respiration. The anaerobes which breathe in the absence of oxygen, that is called the anaerobic respiration. Okay, what happens then? Glucose in the absence of oxygen, what it gives you? It gives you alcohol, it gives you carbon dioxide, and it also gives you energy. Okay. So, when I think you heard about yeast, you might have heard about the bread. When we are making the bread, that is with the help of the yeast, they add the yeast, and that's why they get the good product, the soft product of the bread. Okay. Why? This yeast has the one unique formula. First, it doesn't require the oxygen. It has the glucose. And one unique formula is that it gives the alcohol. Alcohol means what? This alcohol, now you know that this alcohol are used to prepare wine and beer. Okay. So, alcohol preparation from the glucose in the absence of oxygen gives the alcohol, also carbon dioxide and energy. You will surprise. What is energy? This is where we are getting energy. This energy usually it is called the ATP. It is called the ATP. ATP means what? This is adenosine triphosphate. It's called the adenosine triphosphate. Now, what is adenosine triphosphate? This is the Krebs cycle. You will understand this Krebs cycle in 12th standard science, that in the biology. That Krebs cycle, how you are taking this glucose, how burning of glucose happening in your body. There are 30 steps. There are 13 steps for formation of ATP. Different steps are involved for the burning of this glucose, and lastly you get the energy. That is called the Krebs cycle. In the Krebs cycle, you understand the adenosine triphosphate. How this adenosine triphosphate is. Okay. So this is the glucose in the this animal which is called the yeast, which is separating alcohol, carbon dioxide, and energy. So energy is always important for all the living organisms. Now that we understand, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, human being also do the This kind of the anaerobic respiration. Why? How they do the anaerobic respiration? How they do? See, suppose I am right now I'm doing exercise. Okay, continuously I'm doing exercise, I'm walking, I am doing lots of exercise, and suddenly my legs are not in a position. I just feel like cramp. I feel like cramp. I feel tiredness. I feel lots of pain. Okay, might be you have listened about that when cricketers have something this kind of thing and the high, the hips are high. Feel what feel? They on the thigh they feel that some kind of the pain and continuously they go near to the dressing room and their physician or physiotherapist come and suddenly give some kind of the treatment on their thigh, and after 5 minutes they again ready to back. This is, I think you might have observed this. You can also observe by doing the practical examination on you. How you can do it? You just climb your ladders continuously or run faster till time you don't feel the pain. Okay, if you are not feeling pain, but after 5 or 2 or 3 minutes, if you rest and if you again stand up, you will again feel the pain on your thigh, or you feel that my legs are not working, you feel tiredness, and you also feel that these are the muscles cramp. This is called the muscles cramp. Now why happens the muscles cramp? Muscles cramp happens because when this aerobic respiration stop working. Oh sir, how aerobic respiration stop working? Just you are telling that every human being has to do the aerobic respiration the entire life. How this aerobic respiration stops? Aerobic respiration stops because when you are walking fast and fast, right now I am breathing, very normal breath. Okay, but when I run fast, then I need more amount of oxygen continuously. Then the body is not in a position, the body muscles or all the tissues or the cells are not in a position to send the oxygen to entire body part, all the part of the body. Once they are not in a position to send the oxygen to all the parts of the body, the part which is more affected, suppose you are doing exercise with your hand, then you feel here lots of junk or lots of kind of pain or lots of like you feel that there is something here, muscles are cramped. Okay, so because of this oxygen which is not reached to the body part, then you will feel muscle cramp. Okay, now what happened? Because see, burning is important, compulsory. Why? We want energy. If glucose is not burned, then I will not get energy. Okay. So, whatever the condition it is in your human body, when you are doing more perspiration work, where you get the perspiration. Okay. When you get the perspiration. Okay. Do you feel that, sir? Where is the water? Water comes as a perspiration also from outside the body. It will come as a perspiration. It also comes from the mouth when you are breathing from the nasal cavity. Nostrils also, if you feel here hot air, water droplets, so water also comes. So you feel, sir, what happens after the glucose is not giving you the proper kind of the formation of carbon dioxide, water, energy, because the oxygen amount is less on that part of the body. Then what happens? The glucose which is burned in the absence of oxygen, it produces lactic acid and energy. When this lactic acid and energy produce, that energy you got, you have lots of energy that time, you run very fast, but after 1, 2 minutes or 3 minutes you feel the cramps in your thigh. Also suppose you have to work with your shoulder also, then you are not in a position to move well. Then what you will do? You observe that lots of people are doing what? They apply the hot water. This is okay, hot water is okay. But once you are feeling here, see, here the L1, L2, L3, L5, C5. Okay, these are all are your vertebrae column. What is the vertebral column? So here all muscle cramps when you feel. These all are the pains when you feel you should apply ice packs. What? Ice packs. Have you ever seen that when cricketer feels the muscle cramp, so their physiotherapist come with a bucket of the hot water? No, they will never come with the bucket of the hot water. They come with a spray and that which gives the immediate relief from the pain. That spray is not for the lactic acid. That spray is for the pain relief only. Immediately they apply it on the part where it is affected, the muscle is affected. They apply on that, so it will relieve the pain. But what about the lactic acid which has created muscle cramp? So to get relief from the muscle cramp, they apply ice pack. You might have seen that one kind of the blue or red color something they are applying over here. That is called the ice packs. Now what is happening on that part? Once they apply the ice pack on the part where the thigh is there, after applying on the ice pack on that, what happens? It gives CO2 plus water. How it gives the CO2 plus water? Sir, we will just talk about the CO2 and water comes only in the presence of oxygen. Then why it is there, sir, after applying on the part of the ice packs when you apply cooling here and the cooling gives the CO2 water? Because when applying these ice packs, these muscles get relaxation. Okay. When relaxation goes on that part, the oxygen continuously increase on that part. So when you apply ice pack, this O2 will increase here. The O2 will increase here on the part where the lactic acid is accumulated, and because that we felt muscle cramp. Okay, so when you apply this ice pack, the lactic acid in the presence, because oxygen will increase, in the presence of oxygen, what happens? It gives the CO2 and water. So when you feel lots of perspiration and lots of water formation, that time also the same situation happens. When you oxygen is released, the lactic acid also gives the same. See, everything, whenever last burning of the glucose, last product of the glucose always will give you the CO2, water and energy. There is no change. Energy is compulsory because we are surviving, we are taking food for energy. We are eating food regularly. So the parents always insist us to take the food. Why? Only because we want energy. And this energy is accumulated as a form of the glucose. So I hope you understand with this that what is the cellular respiration, what is the aerobic respiration, what is the anaerobic respiration, and what is the anaerobic respiration, the importance of the anaerobic respiration in the animal and the human beings also. Thank you very much for watching.